Welcome to this edition of the Mayor's Report for Dublin. I'm your host, Splendorio. Joining me today is Mayor Melissa Hernandez from the beautiful city of Dublin. Welcome, Melissa.
It is a beautiful city, and thank you again for having me on here at TV 30.
Thank you for being here. So, it's a new year. I'm sure you've got some topics you'd like to share with our viewers at the top of the show.
We always have great, exciting things happening in Dublin, of course, and it is a new year, and we've been off to some stormy weather, but the great things that are happening in Dublin is to be able to give our residents an update of our economic development strategy, and that's something that we're definitely working on. You know, Dublin is always a thriving and growing city, trying to bring in businesses, but also trying to fit the right businesses that will be best suited here in our city of Dublin. So we're inviting our residents and business owners to help shape the future of our economic development in Dublin. Our goal is to create a comprehensive economic development strategy that reflects not only the aspirations that are needed in our community, but what is going to fit here. So we will be having two surveys that we'll be launching, and one for our residents and our other for our community businesses. And so the survey will take anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes to complete. So please, we do encourage, if you get that survey, please fill it out. Again, it's really, being honest on answering your questions, and give us that give us feedback, whether you feel it's negative, positive, but reassuring, not reassuring, just so that we know and we can get an actual feel of what we're really wanting to bring here to our residents. And the residents can go on to our www.dublin.ca.gov to take the survey as well.
And how long will the survey be up?
It will be up until the end of the month of January 31st.
Okay, great. Anything else to share, or can we talk a little bit about the past?
Let's talk about the past. It's,
all right, well,
it's always such a great topic to say and tell you all the great things that we've done.
Well, 23 was a big year for Dublin. So let's share with our viewers and highlight some of last year's events that the residents will still be talking about.
Yes, so in 2023, we started obviously with all those winter storms. Our crews worked so hard to be able to bring relief to some of our residents with regards to, being able to fill those sandbags with all the floods that were going on. Our public works and maintenance staff were going on so many calls to making sure they were, picking up the trees that had been blown over, and so many lessons learned, and that's what we always want to make sure is that we always learn lessons from, what's happened in the past. And one of the things is to make sure that we had enough sandbags for our residents, and that we learn from our experiences. But with the storms coming headed this way, we're really well prepared. And Dublin didn't obviously get as many, we're more of a younger city, newer city, so we didn't get some of the damage that some other folks in other cities got in their cities. But rolling right after January, we went into February, where we have our annual volunteer recognition awards, where we recognize our Citizen of the Year, the Mayor's Legacy of the Year, and also our Volunteer Groups of the Year. So that's always such a great motivational night to be able to give back, not only to the folks that give so much dedication and hard work into our city, but it's a night where we recognize them, where we say thank you, where we say, let's keep doing this together to make our city the thriving city that it is.
That's wonderful.
And of course, one of our favorite months of the year is March.
Oh yeah, I know we'll take up the whole show for March.
And March it is, and so we have our sister city, Bray, folks come on out here. We do our the historical, beautiful parade that not only do the young kids really love, but also the adults. And you see the cheer and the joy, and everybody showing their shamrock spirit, and making sure that we include our businesses. So I do want to give you a little bit of an update going on to the next year's. Our Lions Club has always ran our St. Patrick's Day parades, but they're doing a couple things changing. It's always the same people that help out, And so we will be looking for more volunteers next year because the Lions Club will not be hosting the parade anymore. They said that there's just a few of them left, so maybe we're hoping that Rotary Club will pick it up, and some folks, if you're listening out there, you know, things will change in 2025, looking into the future, but you know, make sure that you support our Rotary Club, our Lions Club, and go out if folks like to volunteer during the month of March for our St. Patrick's Day Parade, and you have a couple hours. Adults are mostly recommended. Some of our younger generation get a little distracted and stuff, so it's better to have you know, the adults that are really wanting to help us with the parade.
It does take a lot of people to run a parade, but you get a front row seat.
It does, and last year, a couple residents from Dublin were engaged at the parade, so it was really a great event to be able to have everyone come out. And so, and then in March, of course, Garrett Holmes retired after a long career, where we welcome our new Chief of Police, Nate Schmidt. And a little history about Nate. He began his career in Alameda County Sheriff's in 1999 and then transferred to our Dublin Police Services in 2002. So he's not new to Dublin. And so the majority of career has been here in our city of Dublin. But like Chief Holmes, Chief Schmidt continues to embrace our community, be out with the people, engage, and also he's oriented in not only policing but also principles of the organization and his philosophy. So really engaging with our community is key as a police officer and a police chief. Our Dublin residents want to keep our city the safe city that it has been for many years. So that obviously is one of our priorities. In April, we launched the Dublin Market Loyalty Rewards Program. And so it was to be able to give our small businesses a boost in the local economy, and it held another successful Dublin Pride Week event. Back to the local rewards is something that we can engage with our small businesses. Let's say, for instance, Johnny's Donuts. You go in there, you know, you get buy one, get one free. And our small businesses, and I know it sounds a little like we've used to do this for so many years, but I will tell you that our businesses really do want to be engaged, not only with our city and our staff, but with new different types of programs that we create, and also with our community. So trying to keep the economic development going for those small businesses, because they do mean a lot to us.
Yep, very important.
And so
Fabric of the community.
It is. And then jumping right along into our summer, and of course, the weather was a beautiful summer. The city welcomed intellectually and development disabled individuals, where we were able to create the Future Explored. And so we were giving the opportunity for our younger or for our young adults to be able to work at our city parks program. And so we offer jobs to individuals with IDD. And not many cities do that. So I'm very proud to have been able to bring this forward and to give them the skill sets, give them, you know, something to do on a daily basis, and to be engaged with not only working with their coworkers, but also with engaging in them becoming more independent. So I think it's a great program. It's still up and going. It's been very, very successful. And in July, our Parks Community Service staff put on a new event. It was called the Backyard Block Party. Who doesn't like a party? So we featured a kickball tournament, and we may see another similar event in 2024. And I know our police officers were engaged in that, and I think they said they may have won. So definitely kickball.
Of course, they won kickball.
Of course, it may be a little old school kind of a game, but it's still fun, and it gets us really out there to not only get exercise but to be outdoors. In August, the City Council participated in another successful national night out with our Dublin Police Services and also our Alameda County firefighters. And this gives us the opportunity to listen to our community. Let us know what's going on in your neighborhood. Let us know when you want us to come out maybe for other events. So it's just kind of, you know, keeping each other engaged, knowing who your neighbor is. I know when I was growing up, we all, you know, all of our neighbors knew who all the kids were around the streets and around the blocks. And you know, back then, we had other parents telling us what to do and what not to do, right? So other moms were reprimanded.
They warned when Melissa was coming down the street.
That's what it was. And so it's just one of those things where it lets you know who your neighbor is too. And when you travel out of town, your neighbor's watching your house, and it's always good to be able to have that.
So what's happening in August and the fall?
And in August, again, was the National Night Out. The community is always thrilled to welcome our city staff and our city council at that time. And then during the summer, of course, the summer months featuring the summer concerts and our Dublin Farmers Market.
Great.
And that's becoming stronger and stronger every year and being more engaged. But I want to go fast forward a little bit in passing the summer months and go right into the Iron Horse Trail Bridge.
Yes.
If you were not able to see it, you can still see it on our website. You can go back on our Facebook page and watch the video there. And it took a lot of teamwork, I must say, to be able to get that bridge up. But it is something that will be successful. And many people ask, why did we spend money on a bridge? But let me remind folks that it was a collaborative, many different types of funds, state funding, grants, and East Bay, our East Bay trails, East Bay parks were included as well. And so it's really to be a pedestrian-friendly bridge to try to go, over Dublin Boulevard, as Dublin Boulevard is 1 hour.
Safety.
Our heart of the Dublin roads, getting you from the east to the west and west to the east. So it is our main artery in Dublin, and it is primarily safe. Making sure that the residents crossing, any individuals riding your bike, walking, are safe and being able to use that bridge. We had our Wallace Ranch Community Park groundbreaking, and then also Police Chief Schmidt and we held our first ride your bike with your mayor and your police chief. And this, not only did we get exercise, it gave us the opportunity to be able to answer questions and answer concerns of our residents. What can we improve on? What can we do better? And you'll be surprised. We did not have that many concerns. And actually, I'm not really surprised because we're a really engaged city, but also just giving us the opportunity to say, you know what, we're just like you.
Good.
We're a mayor, we're a police chief, we're very busy, but we're just like you, and we want to be able to go out there and ride our bikes with all the folks. So we had a great turnout, so it was very exciting.
All right, Melissa, well, we need to take a short break, but we'll be right back on this edition of the Mayor's Report for Dublin. Welcome back to this edition of the Mayor's Report for Dublin. I'm here talking with Mayor Melissa Hernandez. Welcome back, Melissa.
Thank you, Splin.
Well, where we left off, we were talking about all the highlights of 2023. I know you want to finish up with something that was really important, but then I want to lead you in to talk about some exciting things going on in 24, and that is the grand opening of the Dublin Arts Center.
Yes, and the last thing that I wanted to add with all the great things that we did in 2023 was, it's really important for us as a city to make sure that we complete our budget, and that's something that we did for the 2023 24-year operating budget. And we, it's so great to be able to have a city that's well run, to say not only did we come in a surplus, but we are still going strong. And for many mayors, we want to make sure that we're always fiscally responsible.
And Melissa, let's talk about the new Arts Center, because it just shows the richness of the city of Dublin that's going to build something like this. Give us, our viewers, a highlight, a preview. What's it going to do? What's it going to highlight for us?
So this is such an exciting development, and the reason why is because art is so different in so many people's eyes, right? You think of art, I think of art. And we can think of two different things, but being able to create something like a cultural arts facility here in Dublin is kind of the missing little puzzle. And the reason why I want to add that is because, Dublin, Livermore, and Pleasanton, we all work together really, really well. And Dublin has never had any art affiliation, but we did have the Dublin Arts Collective that really has pushed this forward. And my love for art helped it get through the finish line. But I do want to add that, Livermore has the Bankhead, and Pleasanton has a firehouse, and so I'm happy to bring in that little missing piece of the puzzle here. And the community is not, we're just not anxious. We're super excited and awaiting the grand opening of the new Dublin Art Center, which will take place on a Saturday early this summer. And I want to make sure that the folks that are watching, please make sure to come out because it's such a great piece that we've been missing for a while. The Dublin Arts Center will be a wonderful new amenity for all kinds of artists, dancers, painters, sculptors, actors, and more. And so we held our groundbreaking for the facility on November 1st, 2022, but the idea for a cultural art central in Dublin began many years ago. And so when talks about the Dublin Police Services moving to the new facility that we build them, we knew that this is an opportunity that we could not let pass us by. And so we decided to say, we are going to hold this piece of property, and we're going to be able to bring in the new Dublin Art Center. And so we designed the work. It started back in 2019, and once the police chief's office, which was once a jail, a holding cell, and many more, we really knew that with a lot of imagination and skills that we would make this into a beautiful facility, and that's what our cultural arts will and it be. And so not only will it be a beautiful site, but it'll be an educational site. It'll be a social opportunity for the entire community. And also the conceptual designs are up on our website if you do want to see them before they come to fruition. But we're looking back, you know, from when we started these plans back in May of 2020, and that's how fast we've actually come along for a project. So the 13,000 square foot facility will feature a black box theater with a small catering kitchen, a dedicated art gallery and exhibit center, a dance studio, a music studio, and 3 different indoor and outdoor art spaces and craft spaces for artists to be able to do their great artwork. The second floor of the building will see slight improvements and become the future home of the Parks and Community Services Department. So the current total for this budget is estimated to be $11.8 million, and we kept it within our budget. Which we believe is money well spent.
Congratulations.
So it's exciting. We've been working with our staff to be able to bring different types of entertainment. As you know, Dublin is one of the most diverse cities in the Tri-Valley, and so to bring all those different types of cultures and folk dances and music, and so not only for the older generation, but I always like to say it's to include all ages, because there's so many things that the younger generation will learn through the eyes of art. So definitely excited, and I'm glad that I'll be able to cut the ribbon on that very soon.
That's exciting. I think it's exciting, not only just for Dublin, but for the entire Tri-Valley. It sounds like a great space.
No, it definitely is. And like I said, I truly do mean when we work together, I know that I really support the Bankhead Center, you know, so many times by just going to a lot of the events there. But this will be definitely something different. We knew that we didn't need 2 Bankhead Centers in the Tri-Valley, so this will be something different. And it is true, and it's not just for us, it's for everybody.
All right, Melissa, now I want to spend a little time on a typical day in the life of Mayor Melissa Hernandez. So I think our viewers sometimes, you know, they see you, you're out at events, you're on camera a lot, but tell us, what's the real story? What is it? How does a day start?
I don't think I have too many typical days.
Okay.
You know, just because of the fact that I always tell my kids, and they see this too as well, and I shouldn't call my kids my young adults that live with me occasionally, because my daughter, obviously, Lauren, is away to school. But my son will always say, my son Jared always says, and I know he has said it on TV 30 before, is my mom's a hero without a cape. And I don't want to be recognized as a hero. I want to be recognized as a great mayor. And what did I get accomplished, and what did we do? But there's a lot of mayor roles, and all of us as mayors, we want to make sure that our cities are the best cities that they are. And we want to make sure that, you know, we have public safety, we have great roads, we have, you know, the everyday business up and going. And so I want to explain a little bit of the day of a mayor. I get up really early in the morning and I go to bed really late at night. And of course you have your worries, right? You have your worries that you want to make sure that our infrastructure is well built, that the traffic flow is going, but providing my responsibilities, I run the meetings, and that in itself, you have to make sure you can multitask. But definitely running the meetings and making the best decisions that we can for the overall community, not just for certain groups, but for the overall community in our city of Dublin. And not only do I represent just our city, but I also represent our city at the local level, the regional level, meaning at the county level, and all the three mayors, Dublin, Livermore, Pleasanton. And I do want to add Contra Costa in there because San Ramon and Danville, we also work together. We come together bi-monthly to be able to set our goals, our priorities for all of our cities. What are we going to talk to at our representatives in Sacramento or in Washington, D.C.? So it's really important to be able to have our goals and our priorities that we want in the Tri-Valley so we can really make a difference where there needs to be. And representing and being the biggest defender of Dublin, I want to say.
Well,
that is definitely it, is being the defender of Dublin.
I think that's your superhero title, Dublin Defender.
I definitely am.
All right. So let's talk about one more topic I'd really like to cover with you. And that has to do with, we hear all these stories about office vacancies, and Dublin has a great amount of office workers. How has is there a lot of vacancy? Are people returning to work? Are the businesses, the local sandwich shop, have they been impacted? Give us maybe a minute on that, because I really want to get to what kind of events are going on in town. Can you give us a minute how the office work look like in Dublin?
So our office vacancy is actually very low. It's not very high. I know that our residents may see at times, businesses leaving and new businesses coming in, but our office vacancies do not stay vacant very, very long. And as you know, Dublin is a growing, still almost a build-out city. And so just the other night, I went to the TriNet, which TriNet is a big office building. We have Sice Technologies on Dublin Boulevard. And we were just talking about small businesses and talking about how not only is Dublin, the local level, we're trying to always do the concierge program for our small businesses, but even the feds are trying to help with the small businesses. So our return back at work is definitely, Dublin has not had many troubles with that, and our communities have, and other communities have. And so Dublin's vacancy rate hovers just around 4.2%, which is very low. And City of Dublin employees, as with other organizations, for example, have the option, a little slim, to work from home 1 or 2 days a week. And if there's not a position where they're able to do that, then they do have to be in City Hall every single day. But again, we are trying to definitely help the small businesses, because as we all know, those are the businesses that really were going through some trying times. But definitely I'm on our economic development committee. And how we were talking earlier in the segment about making sure that we get the input of our residents for economic development committee. Our community, it is definitely a priority to make sure that we keep bringing new businesses into Dublin.
All right, Melissa, let's finish up. We have a few seconds left. Let's highlight some coming events in Dublin.
So there's always great things happening. Kids Out at the Wave. That will take place on Saturday, January 20th from 5 to 9:30. And then the event also allows parents to have a fun night. Every now and then, parents still have to have a date night. So being able to leave your children with us, they're in great hands. We'll make sure we give them lots of pizza, no soda, maybe some water and some lemonade, and definitely arts and craft to go along with that. And participants should also bring their swimsuit and towels and a change of clothes, because it is at the Wave. And the water will be heated.
Please.
And the cost of this is $58 for residents and $69 for non-residents. And of course, always the monthly Weekend Wonder events held at the Dublin Heritage Park and Museum. We'll be featuring our Valentine's Day party on Saturday, February 10th from 10 a.m. to noon. And so the event will featuring decorating cookies, enjoying tea with your sweetheart, and also the cost is $5 and $6 for non-residents. So always a lot of great things happening, and we will also be adding my State of the City in the next several months, so look out for that.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for updating us, and thank you for being here with us on the Mayor's Report for Dublin. I'm Splen Splendorio. Join us for the next episode of the Mayor's Report right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you so much for joining us.